Hi there. My name is Rhys Chatham of rhysastrology.fr, speaking to you from the left bank in Paris. I'm an astrologer specializing in Horary questions. In this branch of astrology, you don't need to know your rising sign or your time of birth. All you need is a burning desire to know the answer to a question, and Horary astrology can give you the answer. It works a bit like a tarot reading. You know how in a tarot reading, you ask a question, then you shuffle the cards, you pick the cards in a seemingly random fashion, and then you get the answer to your question? Horary works in a similar fashion, except instead of using the cards, you're using the planets and stars of the universe to answer your question. And this is best accomplished with a meeting of the minds between the person who asked the question, called the querent, and the astrologer, who, after understanding the question, casts the chart and then interprets it. Horary can be used to answer burning questions like, is the check in the mail? Will my romantic interest call me soon? Should I buy the house? And similar questions. Horary questions can also be used to find things. So what I'm going to share here is a Horary chart that demonstrates how this works. I had a question come in recently from an artist who couldn't find her sketchpad anywhere. It contained a series of drawings that she had been hoping to sell. She'd last seen her sketchpad in her studio, where she also gives weekly classes in painting and drawing. She had spent a week searching everywhere in her studio. It was driving her nuts, not being able to find it. Finally, she began to wonder if perhaps one of her students had walked off with the sketchpad, mistakenly putting it in with their things. So she asked me to do a Horary chart. The question she asked was, my sketchbook has disappeared. Did someone, perhaps a friend or student, take it away? I cast the chart for the moment that I fully understood the question that was asked. Here's the chart. We see that the rising sign is Cancer, representing the person who asked the question, the querent. The next step is to see where the ruler of Cancer is in the chart. The ruler of Cancer is the moon. And we see that it's all the way at the bottom of the chart, what is called the Imum Coli, or IC. Imum Coli is Latin for bottom of the sky. We see that the moon is at 8 degrees Virgo, so it's practically smack dab on the IC, which is at 7 degrees. So, where is the sketchbook? To answer that question, we need to look at the second house, which represents the movable possessions of the person who asked the question. The sketchbook in question was about half the size of a piece of typewriting paper, so it is definitely a movable possession. We look to the sign that appears at the cusp, or the edge, of the second house, and I discovered to my surprise that it was once again in Cancer. Aha, I said. The moon was the ruler of both the querent as well as the book. This suggested to me that the sketchbook had never left the artist's studio. It was still there somewhere, but where? That we find the moon in the fourth house, which traditionally symbolizes the home, the place where the family or people congregate, suggests that it was in the main room of the studio where the students congregate. We see that the moon is in the sign of Virgo. William Lilly, the great 17th century Horary astrologer, wrote in his textbook, Christian Astrology, that one of the things Virgo signifies is closets. It signifies a place where books and papers are. That we find the moon at the bottom of the chart suggests that it is well hidden at the bottom of a closet, hidden underneath papers, files, or books. I contacted the querent by email to say that her sketchbook, in fact, was not with one of her students, but was still in her studio, probably in a closet towards the bottom of the closet, hidden under some papers or books. A half an hour later, I received word from the querent, who was amazed. She had found the sketchbook. It was exactly where the Horary chart said it would be, under some papers towards the bottom of the closet. It was in a place she had looked at least 5 or 6 times, but evidently she hadn't carefully looked under the books and papers towards the very bottom of the closet. But because she knew where to look, she focused on that area and she found her sketchbook. So hopefully this gives you an idea of how a Horary chart is interpreted and how useful it can be for answering your questions and even finding things that you're looking for. As you can imagine, the artist was very happy and much relieved to have her question answered. If you are interested in booking a Horary reading for yourself, you can contact me through my website, rhysastrology.fr, or directly by email at rhysastrology@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. See you next time.